Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday. We'll call it a update show. We have some final scores for you, and we've got from the early games, and we'll update all of that, and we'll update the early games for you. And we'll get to all that in a moment. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question for NFL Football Sunday Week 3. And it's a Carolina Panthers trivia question. Which Carolina Panthers quarterback holds the team record for most passing yards in a single season? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Right now, we've got some final scores for you. The Chicago Bears beat the Houston Texans 23-20 today at Soldier Field in Chicago, and boy, this was one of those games where it could have gone either way, and this was a game that really could have gone either way, and Chicago managed to pull it off to prevail in the victory. But I gotta tell you, and I think it was in the final seconds when they kicked the field goal, because Houston intercepted it and Chicago got the ball back, and Carlos Santos kicked a 30-yard field goal and it was good, and nevertheless the Houston Texans get the win. By the final score of 23-20. And it is the Bears to get the game balls. Justin Fields, 8 of 17 carries and attempts, 106 yards, no touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. Kahala Herbert, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Cole Kmet, 40 yards, 2 receptions. But Houston, they get the win. They go to 1-1, and Chicago gets the win. They go to 1-1. Houston falls to 0-1-1. And the Indianapolis Colts get their first win of the season. And they go to 1-1-1 with a win over the Kansas City Chiefs 20-17 today at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And this was one of those games that really went that seesaw back and forth. The Chiefs, I thought would have to win this game today, but how wrong I was. So, and I do believe that it was a interception, and then KC intercepted it, and then all Matt Ryan had to do was kneel because they scored that touchdown in the fourth to make it 20-17. And the Colts got the win. So Matt Ryan, because the Colts got the game balls, 27 of 37 carries and attempts, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think it's Jonathan Taylor, 71 yards and 21 attempts, and Michael Pittman, 8 receptions, 72 yards. So KC falls to 2-1. And we have a final that just came in. The Tennessee Titans beat the Las Vegas Raiders Uh, 24-22 at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Boy, I thought the Raiders were a good road team and they were going to get the win in this game today. And that was one I took on my picks. I'll get you those in a little while. So, and and another one that just came in. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington Commanders 24-8. They were all over the Commanders today, the Philadelphia Eagles. And boy, were they ever. I just had to mark those down. And, and another final that just came in. That just concluded two more finals. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Detroit Lions. That came back from behind and beat them 28-24 at U.S. Bank Stadium in Detroit. In Minneapolis, excuse me. And this was one game where Detroit had it and Minnesota got right back into it. So this is one of those games where it could go either way. And the Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills to go to 3-0. They remain unbeaten, and Buffalo suffers their first loss. Miami beat them 21-19 at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And I kind of thought that the Bills were going to do it with this one. We're going to get it. I thought for sure they'd win it, but how wrong I was. And boy, and my brother-in-law, he was wrong too on that one. I thought we were going to get that one. And another final that just came in, a game that just concluded. The Cincinnati Bengals get their first win of the season. They beat the New York Jets 27-12 at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey today. So that was a really, really good game today between them. That was one of those games where the opposing team had it from the get-go. So, yeah, and so I think all the early game finals are now in. So we'll go back and right now the Jacksonville Jaguars are underway. And in the first quarter with 10 minutes to go, it's zip there. And another one you're going to be seeing in the late games, the Battle of the Bays, Green Bay at Tampa Bay. And so that should be a doozy of a matchup. The LA Rams will face the Arizona Cardinals at University of Phoenix Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. The Atlanta Falcons will take on the Seattle Seahawks at Lumen Field in Seattle. Sunday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers take on the Denver Broncos at Empire Field in Mile High. And Monday Night Football tomorrow night, the Dallas Cowboys take on the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And you know, Thursday night, the Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-17. So We'll get back to this in just a second. But right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday Week 3 trivia question. And it's a Carolina Panthers trivia question. Which Carolina Panthers quarterback holds the team record for most passing yards in a single season? And if you said Steve Berline, you are correct. In 1999, Berline's 4,436 yards led the league and at the time was the 11th highest passing yardage total ever. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that, which will be tomorrow on Monday Night Football. Well, getting back to the early games to recap them for you. First of all, let's do, I've already recapped Indianapolis and KC and Chicago and the Bears. Baltimore and New England. Boy, this was, and as you know, Baltimore beat them 37-26 at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And I had a feeling Baltimore was going to get the win in this game. And in the fourth quarter, Baltimore scored that touchdown in the fourth quarter, and it was Lamar Jackson, right guard, for the 9-yard touchdown. Tucker's extra point was good, and it was 37-26. And New England intercepted, and all the Ravens had to do was just kneel 3 times. All Lamar Jackson and the Ravens had to do was kneel, and nonetheless, but game balls, Mac Jones, he gets one. Rahamdre Stevenson, he gets a game ball. And Devontae Parker, he gets a game ball for that one. So, and so now Baltimore goes to 2-1. So now they are tied with the Browns. Cincy's at 2-1. So now we've got a 3-way tie for first place in the AFC North. The Carolina Panthers, boy, they came out of nowhere and beat the New Orleans Saints 24-22, as I mentioned. And I believe that was Carolina's first win of the season, I believe. I believe that was. I have to take a look here. I think it was, and I'm not exactly. Yes, it is Carolina's first win of the season. So they finally get their first win. Baker Mayfield gets his first win as Panthers quarterback. And I think it was one of those games where the leads seesawed back and forth. And actually, no, because Carolina was up 13-0, but New Orleans did finally get on the board in the third quarter and the fourth quarter as well, but it wasn't enough because New Orleans intercepted it, and all the Panthers had to do and all Baker Mayfield had to do was kneel. So nonetheless, the Panthers get the win by the final score of 22-14. But they kicked a field goal in the fourth quarter to make it 22, and it was good. So game balls, Baker Mayfield, Christian McCaffrey, and Laviska Chenault Jr. He gets one. We're going to take a break. I'll come back and I'll continue recapping the early games in just a moment.